On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Climate.
The weather in a particular location averaged over some long period.
Examples:
A cold climate. Effects of climate change. Climate and weather have an impact on every part of our lifestyles.
Vaccine.
A substance that is put into the body and protects them from disease by causing them to produce antibodies, equals proteins that attack harmful bacteria, viruses, etc.
Examples:
Development of vaccines. An oral vaccine. The mRNA vaccine was approved in less than a year because it did not contain the fragments of the target virus.
Rely.
To require a certain thing or the assistance and support of someone or something in order to continue, run properly, or succeed.
Examples:
Rely on convenience stores. Rely entirely on him. Babies heavily rely on others for food.
Poll.
An inquiry into public opinion conducted by interviewing a random sample of people, the process of voting at an election.
Examples:
A pre-election poll. Public opinion polls. Several polls show a decline in the president's approval rating.
Consistent.
Always behaving or happening in the same way, or having the same thoughts, standards, etc.
Examples:
Do on a consistent basis. Get consistent results. You are not consistent in your behavior.
Proportion.
A part, share, or amount of something considered in comparative relation to a whole.
Examples:
Direct proportion. A building of vast proportions. He is more concerned about the proportion of his body fat than usual because of an upcoming bodybuilding competition.
Evolution.
A gradual process of transformation of living things.
Examples:
Human evolution. Evolution theory. They study the evolution of the universe.
Persuade.
To convince or induce someone to do something by presenting a reason or argument, to sway or influence someone's decision or opinion.
Examples:
Attempt to persuade. Persuade a hijacker to surrender. She tried to persuade her brother to join her on the trip.
Contrast.
To put in opposition, to show or emphasize differences.
Examples:
Contrast with a decade ago. Contrast two things. It's intriguing to compare and contrast the two authors.
Faith.
Complete trust in something or someone's ability or knowledge, a strong belief in religion, divine power, etc.
Examples:
Religious faith. Faith in government. He kept his robust faith in his company.
Domain.
A specific sphere of influence or control, a specific field of knowledge or expertise.
Examples:
Domain of use. A dependent domain. The company's domain in the market was expanding to new territories.
Separate.
To force, take, or pull apart, mark as different.
Examples:
Separate video into chapter. Separate cream from milk. We need to separate the aspect of his personality from the part of his competence when making an investment decision.
Distinct.
Noticeable from something else of a similar type.
Examples:
Distinct difference. Distinct from each other. It is essential to keep these two issues distinct.
Religion.
A deep conviction in a supernatural power that controls human destiny.
Examples:
Religion sociology. Freedom of religion. Their religion strictly prohibits them from drinking or gambling.
Calculus.
A branch of mathematics that deals with rates of change and limits, the accumulation of hard mineral deposits that can form in organs or ducts in the body, such as kidney stones or gallstones.
Examples:
Calculus equations. Calculus disease. I needed help understanding the advanced calculus course material.
Pascal.
A unit of pressure in the International System of Units, SI, named after the French mathematician and physicist Blaise Pascal, which equals 1 Newton per square meter, the name of a high-level programming language developed in the 1970s.
Examples:
980 hectopascals. Pressure conditions from 100 to 1600 pascals. Meteorologists recorded a sudden drop in air pressure to 980 hectopascals, signaling the approach of a storm.
Wager.
A bet or gamble, typically involving a sum of money, on the outcome of an event or situation.
Examples:
Friendly wager. Make a wager. I placed a wager with my friend who would win the basketball game.
Mathematics.
The science dealing with the logic of quantities, shapes, spaces, and arrangement.
Examples:
A good grounding in mathematics. Mathematics competition. He has a flair for mathematics.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Clutch.
To grasp and hold somebody or something tightly.
Examples:
Clutch at any straw. Clutched her daughter to her breast. The boy clutched his mother's hand tightly as they walked in the dark.
Rail.
A long, thin piece of metal or wood that is used to make fences or as a support for something. Verb, to complain bitterly.
Examples:
Rail system. Rail against his enemies. The children leaned over the bridge rail to watch the fish swimming below.
Leap.
To jump or spring into the air, often with the feet leaving the ground or a surface below, to move quickly or suddenly, often forward or upward.
Examples:
Leap to a conclusion. Leap of faith. The athlete was able to leap over the hurdle with ease.
Claim.
To assert that something is true, to demand or request something as one's own, to lay legal or moral right to something. Noun, a demand or assertion of a right or something that one believes to be true.
Examples:
Claim responsibility. False claim. He wants to claim ownership of the abandoned property.
Judge.
A person who makes decisions in a court of law. Verb, to determine the result of or form a critical opinion of something.
Examples:
Judge a competition. An associate judge. The strict judge ruled in favor of the plaintiff in the case.
Geologist.
A scientist or specialist who studies geology.
Examples:
Planetary geologist. Marine geologist. These issues baffled geologists for many years.
Chemistry.
The branch of the natural sciences dealing with the composition of substances and their properties and reactions.
Examples:
Professor of chemistry. The chemistry of soil. He is familiar with chemistry and biology.
Evolutionary.
Relating to or denoting how living things develop or change from earlier forms.
Examples:
Ecology and evolutionary biology. The evolutionary process. Evolutionary algorithms can find ways to optimize that humans do not anticipate.
Physicist.
A scientist who specializes in the field of physics.
Examples:
Talented physicist. Theoretical physicist. Einstein was an outstanding and famous physicist of the 20th century.
Tobacco.
A plant grown for its leaves, which are dried and processed for smoking or chewing or extraction of nicotine.
Examples:
Tobacco industry. A mild tobacco. Tobacco product is a leading cause of preventable deaths worldwide.
Cancer.
Abnormal growth of cells that can invade and destroy surrounding tissues and organs. A disease characterized by the uncontrolled growth and spread of abnormal cells.
Examples:
Cancer diagnosis, cancer research. Breast cancer is the most common type of cancer in women.
Argue.
To express differing opinions or points of view, often in a heated or contentious manner, to present a case or reasoning to persuade or convince others.
Examples:
Argue a case. Argue passionately. The couple began to argue over which restaurant to go to for dinner. Hypothesis. A proposed idea or explanation that is based on a few known facts, but has not yet been proven to be true or accurate.
Examples:
Test my hypothesis. A bold hypothesis. This evidence supports the Big Bang hypothesis.
Deduce.
To arrive at an answer, a conclusion, or a decision by reasoning.
Examples:
Deduce facts from the evidence. Deduce the meaning of a word. The researcher deduced the momentum of the particles from meteoritic velocities.
Accord.
An official agreement or treaty between two organizations, countries, etc. Verb, allow to have.
Examples:
Accord with public opinion. By national accord. The organization finally signed a peace accord.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
Develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Consequence.
The outcome of a particular action or event, especially relative to an individual.
Examples:
Unintended consequences. The consequence of an argument. These economic activities had disastrous environmental consequences.
Observe.
To watch or notice something carefully, often to gather information or insights, to take note of something or someone, to celebrate or commemorate a special event or occasion.
Examples:
Observe a tradition. Observe wildlife. It is important to observe safety procedures in the workplace to prevent accidents.
Relative.
Considered and evaluated through comparison with something else.
Examples:
A remote relative. Relative factors. Most countries prohibit sexual activity between certain close relatives.
Void.
An empty space, a feeling of emptiness, adjective, lacking any legal or binding force.
Examples:
Void of expression. Void contract. The void in her heart was filled with the love of her family.
Fabric.
Cloth or other material produced by weaving wool, cotton, silk, etc., used for making clothes, covering furniture, etc.
Examples:
A hand-loomed fabric. Fabric of creation. These synthetic fabrics are used in military vests because of their excellent abrasion resistance.
Presence.
The fact or state that someone or something exists, occurs, or is present.
Examples:
The evidence of the presence. His majestic presence. The path to a solid online presence necessitates a high technical ability.
Massive.
Enormous amount, very heavy and solid.
Examples:
Massive amounts. Massive stars. The recent economic downturn has resulted in massive layoffs.
Startling.
Extremely surprising, astonishing, and sometimes worrying.
Examples:
Startling earthquake shocks. Startling discovery. He describes the story with startling reality.
Prediction.
The act of predicting the future by reasoning, a statement made about the future.
Examples:
Make my predictions. Gloomy predictions. These results muddied the prediction.
Behold.
To look at and observe with attention.
Examples:
Behold the sunrise. A joy to behold. His angry expression was not a pleasant sight to behold.
Starlight.
The light emitted or reflected by stars, often observed in the night sky, the radiant energy emitted by stars.
Examples:
Starlight sky. Romantic starlight. The romantic couple had a picnic under the starlight.
Confirmation.
A statement, often written, that shows that something is true, correct, or definite.
Examples:
Confirmation of purchase. Confirmation bias. The confirmation of his appointment as CEO was met with mixed reactions.
Proof.
A fact or piece of information that shows something is true or exists.
Examples:
Documentary proof. A geometric proof. Proof is better than argument.
Globe.
The earth or world, mainly used to emphasize its vastness.
Examples:
Terrestrial globe. Around the globe. His final goal is to sail around the globe.
Refer.
To direct someone's attention, thoughts, or questions to another source or person, to mention, cite, or allude to something as evidence or support.
Examples:
Refer to a book. Refer to a map. Please refer to the instruction manual for further assistance.
Nomological.
Relating to or involving the principles or laws that govern natural phenomena, particularly in science or philosophy, pertaining to the study or understanding of universal laws or patterns.
Examples:
Deductive nomological explanation. Nomological approach. The test's nomological validity was confirmed through its consistency with established scientific laws and theories.
Academic.
Associated with schools, colleges, and universities, especially studying and thinking, not with practical skills.
Examples:
Academic probation. An academic discussion. An excellent historian must possess an academic mentality.
Complicated.
Involving a lot of different things or parts in a way that is difficult to understand or analyze.
Examples:
A complicated process. Become increasingly complicated. He did complicated pen and ink drawings in just a few days.
Circumstance.
The specific conditions or events that surround a particular situation or occurrence.
Examples:
Circumstance of birth. Circumstance of injury. She explained the circumstances surrounding the accident.
Equation.
The act of regarding as equal, mathematics, a statement that expresses the equality of two expressions by connecting them with the equal sign.
Examples:
The equation of poverty with ignorance. A chemical equation. In this class, you will learn how to solve quadratic equations.
Relation.
The way two persons or groups of people feel and act toward one another.
Examples:
Relation between cause and effect. Relation of inclusion. The industrial relations laws were passed with little to no alteration.
Mass.
A large amount of a substance with no definite shape or form, a large number of people or things grouped or crowded together.
Examples:
A mass of molten rock. Critical mass. The mass of people who do not own property is politically impotent.
Fallacy.
A mistaken belief, idea, or argument that is not supported by facts or evidence, a deceptive or misleading statement or belief.
Examples:
Fallacy of logic. Belief in a fallacy. Many people cling to the fallacy that they can get rich quickly, despite all evidence.
Affirm.
To assert that something is true or real, to state positively.
Examples:
Affirm old traditions. Affirm strong identity. I affirm that I will always stand by my beliefs.
Consequent.
Resulting or following as a result of something else. Noun, something that is logical or naturally follows from something else.
Examples:
Consequent increase. The fallacy of affirming the consequent. The increase in demand for the product led to a consequent rise in its price.
Fancy.
To want to do or have something. Noun, something that many people believe but that is false, or that does not exist, imagination or fantasy.
Examples:
Fancy a cup of coffee. A flight of fancy. I don't fancy acting in such an important role.
Universe.
Everything that exists, especially all physical matter, including planets, stars, galaxies, and all other forms of matter and energy.
Examples:
Theory of the universe. Expansion of the universe. The universe is about 13.8 billion years old.
Planet.
Any of the 9 large celestial bodies that circle in the solar system, any celestial body that revolves around a star.
Examples:
Planet like the Earth. Save the planet. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun.
Astronomer.
A physicist who studies astronomy.
Examples:
Amateur astronomer. Solar astronomer. This question has fascinated solar astronomers for decades.
Accurate.
Correct and exact in all details.
Examples:
Provide accurate information. Accurate measurements. The official transcript contains accurate academic records.
Practical.
Of or connected with actual use or real situation rather than with theory and ideas.
Examples:
Practical English. Gain practical experience. Her concept is highly practical and helpful.
Auxiliary.
Providing additional or supplementary support or assistance, secondary in importance or function.
Examples:
Auxiliary staff. Auxiliary verbs. The teacher used an auxiliary projector to display the lesson presentation.
Assume.
To think or accept something to be true without having proof of it, to take or begin to have power, to begin to exhibit a specific quality or appearance.
Examples:
Assume a lousy attitude to his boss. Assume an important role. The following example assumes that the capacity of each battery is the same.
Ultimate.
Furthest or highest in degree or order.
Examples:
The ultimate goal in life. The ultimate luxury. Management must take ultimate responsibility for the accident.
Replace.
To take the place of something.
Examples:
Replace one word with another. Replace a phone. Eventually, the new design will replace all older models.
Detect.
To find or recognize something, especially something difficult to see, hear, etc.
Examples:
Detect a bad event. Detect smuggling across borders. The security camera has detected 4 intruders.
Slide.
To move or cause to move smoothly along a surface without interruption.
Examples:
Slide a card across the table. Slide a glance. If necessary, you can slide the front seats forward.
Illustrate.
To provide pictures, photographs, diagrams, etc. in a book or something for explanation.
Examples:
Illustrate a key point. Illustrate a story. The company's financial records illustrate how successful it has been.
Concept.
An idea or principle associated with something abstract.
Examples:
Learn new concepts. Concept car. One such rapidly growing concept is quantum cryptography.
Stellar.
Excellent, relating to or resembling a star, especially in quality or attractiveness.
Examples:
Stellar performance. A stellar system. She received a stellar review from her boss, which boosted her confidence.
Parallax.
The apparent shift in the position of an object when viewed from 2 different perspectives, caused by differences in vantage point or angle of observation. The effect of an observing instrument that produces apparent displacement or shift of an object or its parts.
Examples:
Optical parallax. Parallax error. The parallax of the star was measured to determine its distance from Earth.
Prominent.
Important, well-known, or noticeable.
Examples:
Prominent figure. Play a prominent role. The media frequently interviewed prominent scientists.
Rural.
Of or relating to the countryside.
Examples:
Rural accents. People in rural areas. Many rural areas are still impoverished.
Backdrop.
A painted or photographed scene or setting that is used as a background for a stage, film, or other performance.
Examples:
Backdrop of poverty. perfect backdrop. The lush green forest provided a picturesque backdrop for the photo shoot.
Distant.
Far away in space, time, or where you are, far apart in relevance, relationship, or kinship.
Examples:
A distant memory. Distant ancestors. The sun set over the crest of distant hills.
Observation.
The act or activity of carefully examining or monitoring something or someone.
Examples:
Class observation day. Observation instrument. In the hospital, she will remain under constant observation.
Angular.
Measured by an angle or by the rate of change of an angle, having angles or an angular shape.
Examples:
Angular mountain ridge. Angular momentum. Any rotating body has angular momentum about its center of mass.
Hindsight.
Understanding or knowledge that comes after an event has occurred, the ability to perceive or understand events with greater clarity or accuracy in retrospect.
Examples:
Hindsight bias. 20/20 hindsight. With hindsight, we can see that investing in that company was a mistake.
Incorrect.
Not in accordance with fact or truth, or not accurate.
Examples:
Make an incorrect report. An incorrect translation. He found my English sentences are incorrect.
Orbit.
The path of an object around a celestial body, especially a planet, star, or moon, under the influence of gravity. Of medicine, the bony cavity in the skull that houses the eyeball and its associated structures, like muscles, nerves, and blood vessels.
Examples:
The orbit of the moon. A planetary orbit. The rocket engine is used to put the satellite into orbit.
Distance.
The amount of space between 2 points, measured in units such as miles, meters, or kilometers, the extent, scope, or range between two things, such as distance or emotional distance.
Examples:
Driving distance. Social distance. The marathon runner covered a long distance in a short amount of time.
Telescope.
A device like a tube in shape containing lenses used to magnify and observe distant objects.
Examples:
A binocular telescope. Look through a telescope. This facility has the largest astronomical telescope in the country.
Sensitive.
Able to notice slight changes, signals, or influences, able to feel or perceive others' feelings, susceptible to the things people say or do.
Examples:
Sensitive documents. Baby with sensitive skin. The teacher is very sensitive to children's feelings.
Induct.
To formally admit someone to a job or position of authority. To officially introduce someone to an organization or group, or beliefs or ideas.
Examples:
Induct them into military service. Induct a clergy person to a benefice. We were inducted into the Honor Society.
Necessarily.
In an essential manner, in such a way as could not be otherwise.
Examples:
Not necessarily a problem. Necessarily true. This accident was something that happened necessarily.
Beagle.
A small dog with a smooth coat, long ears, and a strong sense of smell, used for hunting hares.
Examples:
Legal beagle. Beagle nose. His pet beagle sniffed at the ground, following the rabbit's trail.
Medicinal.
Of or relating to the treatment or cure of disease.
Examples:
Medicinal chemistry. Traditional medicinal. The medicinal properties of this herb have been known to help with various ailments.
Sight.
The ability to see anything that is seen.
Examples:
An unexpected sight. Dull sight. Many famous sights are within walking distance.
Alternative.
One of two or more available possibilities or choice.
Examples:
An alternative plan. There is no other alternative. Doctors are gradually coming around to the idea of using alternative medicines.
Finch.
A small songbird with a short, conical beak and typically a cheerful song.
Examples:
A finch bird. Strawberry finch. A flock of finches gathered at the bird feeder.
Participate.
To take part in something.
Examples:
Participate fully in conversation. Participate in the program. The majority of students actively participated in the college's intramural sports program.
Scot.
A tax or payment, particularly a share or portion of something. A person from Scotland or a Scottish immigrant.
Examples:
Pay annual Scot. Traditional Scot attire. The Scot-free suspect was later apprehended for a different crime.
Stalker.
A person who harasses or pursues someone persistently, often with threatening or unwanted behavior.
Examples:
Stalker behavior. Cyberstalker. She hired a private investigator to track down her obsessed stalker.
Compress.
To press or squeeze together to make something take up less space.
Examples:
Compress the chest. Compress gas. She compressed the files into a single zip archive to save space on her computer.
Discuss.
To talk about or examine in detail, through conversation or debate, to exchange ideas, opinions, or information on a particular topic.
Examples:
Discuss options. Discuss solutions. We need to discuss the next steps for the project during our meeting tomorrow.
Continental.
Of or relating to a continent, equals one of the Earth's large land masses.
Examples:
Continental divide. Polar continental air. The continental breakfast at the hotel was included with the room.
Drift.
To move smoothly and slowly in water or air, especially as a result of outside forces, with no control over the direction.
Examples:
Drift down the stream. Drift away on a raft. I drifted around for years in Europe before going to university.
Crazy.
Stupid or not sensible, very angry.
Examples:
Crazy about cars and racing. A crazy scheme. The rain and thunder are crazy today.
Contraption.
A machine or device that is made up of a combination of interconnected parts and often appears complicated or unusual.
Examples:
Farming contraption. Complicated contraption. The inventor created a contraption that could turn salt water into drinking water.
Lever.
A handle used to operate a vehicle or a machine, a rigid bar resting on a pivot so that one end of it can be pushed or pulled easily.
Examples:
A gear change lever. Lever for reform. This initiative will be a lever for increasing company sales.
Wheelbarrow.
A hand-operated cart with a single wheel in front and two supporting legs behind, used for carrying small loads over short distances.
Examples:
Empty the wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow tire. I loaded up the wheelbarrow with dirt and hauled it to the backyard.
Bucket.
An open container with a handle made of metal or plastic, often used for carrying liquids.
Examples:
Bucket list. Bucket of golf balls. She filled a bucket with water and carried it back to the house.
Sledgehammer.
A large, heavy hammer typically used for breaking up rock, concrete, or other hard materials.
Examples:
Sledgehammer blow. Sledgehammer workout. The construction worker violently swung the sledgehammer, demolishing the old wall.
Demonstrate.
To display something or give an exhibition to an interested audience.
Examples:
Demonstrate a difference. Demonstrate mastery. How can you demonstrate that the Earth is a sphere?
Mud.
A soft, wet, sticky earth or clay.
Examples:
Mud wall. Mud volcano. The mud of the swamp made it difficult to walk through the field.
Argument.
A set of statements or reasons used to support or refute a proposition or theory, a verbal or physical fight or dispute.
Examples:
A blazing argument. The argument against capital punishment. The argument between the two sides over the proposed policy was heated.
Nowadays.
At the current time, in comparison to the past.
Examples:
Young people nowadays. Not to be seen nowadays. People can clone a sheep nowadays.
Prefer.
To like, choose, or want one thing or person better than another.
Examples:
Prefer physics to chemistry. Prefer a window seat. The birds prefer open water areas with reeds around them.
Tremendous.
Very great in degree or extent or amount or impact, extremely good.
Examples:
Tremendous amount. Tremendous popularity. We had a tremendous time yesterday.
Temperature.
The degree of hotness or coldness of a thing or place.
Examples:
Extreme temperatures. The atmospheric temperature. Cities around the world set records for highest temperatures this summer.
Steady.
Firmly fixed, supported, or balanced, not shaking or moving.
Examples:
Steady increase. Take a steady job. The patient's vital signs are steady, indicating a stable condition.
Dramatic.
Very sudden, very excellent, or full of action and excitement.
Examples:
Make dramatic changes. A dramatic rescue at sea. The statement had a dramatic impact on house prices.
Degree.
A unit of measurement for angles, temperature, or level of proficiency or achievement, a rank or level of academic or professional attainment.
Examples:
Bachelor's degree. Degree centigrade. She received her degree in psychology from the university.
Centigrade.
A system of temperature measurement in which the freezing point of water is 0 degrees and the boiling point of water is 100 degrees, also known as the Celsius scale.
Examples:
Centigrade scale. Centigrade thermometer. The temperature reached a peak of 35 degrees centigrade.
Diagram.
A simplified illustration of the appearance, structure, or workings of something.
Examples.
3D diagram. In a diagram. He is drawing a diagram illustrating how the equipment operates.
Influence.
The ability to affect someone's or something's character, growth, or behavior, or the effect itself.
Examples.
Influence a child's future. Influence the daily life. The former emperor had a particular influence even after he abdicated.
Sulfur.
Also sulfur, a chemical element with the symbol S and atomic number 16, found in many minerals and sulfur compounds, often used in the production of fertilizers, rubber, paper, and other industrial applications.
Examples.
Sulfur dioxide. Sulfur mine. The sulfur emissions from the nearby factory caused the rotten egg smell.
Particle.
A small piece of something, a word or piece of a term with grammatical function, but little or no significance.
Examples.
Charged particle. Particle energy. We can calculate the position of the particles statistically.
Pollution.
The introduction of harmful substances or waste into the natural environment that causes adverse change.
Examples.
Environmental pollution. High levels of air pollution. The pollution is endangering the local plants and animals.
Volcanic.
Relating to or produced by or consisting of volcano.
Examples.
Effects of volcanic eruptions. Increase in volcanic activity. This study indicates volcanic activity affects global warming.
Eruption.
An instance of a sudden and violent release of lava, gas, or ash from a volcano, a sudden outburst or explosion of something.
Examples.
Eruption alert level. Emotional eruption. The volcanic eruption caused widespread destruction and left the area covered in ash.
Radiation.
The energy that comes from a nuclear reaction in the form of rays, waves, or particles, and that can be hazardous to health.
Examples.
Exposure to radiation. Electromagnetic radiation. He tried every possible treatment, including chemotherapy and radiation therapy.
Greenhouse.
A building with walls and roof made chiefly of transparent material, such as glass, for growing plants in.
Examples.
Exotic plants in a greenhouse. Emissions of greenhouse gases. The greenhouse effect is a phenomenon that happens naturally.
Variable.
Likely to change or very often, noun, a symbol, like X or Y, that is used in mathematical or logical expressions to represent a value that may be changed.
Examples:
A variable species. A dependent variable. Rainfall in the tropics is highly variable.
Reproduce.
To make a copy of something such as a picture, piece of text, music, etc., to produce offspring through a sexual or asexual process.
Examples:
Reproduce the painting. Reproduce by myself. By dividing and creating copies of themselves, bacteria reproduce.
Philosophy.
The study of general and fundamental questions, such as those about existence, reason, knowledge, values, mind.
Examples:
Philosophy of education. Western philosophy. Ethics is a branch of philosophy.
Principle.
A fundamental law or truth that explains or controls how something happens or works.
Examples:
Principle of treatment. Principle in business. Efficiency isn't an essential principle here, fairness is.
Inhibit.
To prevent something, such as an action, process, etc., from happening or make it less likely to happen than normal.
Examples:
Inhibit desires. Inhibit tumor growth. Excessive parental interference may inhibit children's eagerness to learn.
Progression.
The act or process of changing to the next stage or phase or moving forward.
Examples:
Progression of civilization. Progression of disease. The company has made great strides in its progression towards sustainability.
Context.
The circumstances, facts, or conditions that surround a particular event, situation, or statement and that give it meaning.
Examples:
Historical context. Legal context. It's important to understand the context of a situation before making a decision.
Creative.
Relating to or involving the use of skill and original and unusual ideas to create something.
Examples:
Creative writing. Barren of creative spirit. All the supervisor has to do is assign tasks that make his subordinates more creative.
Scrutiny.
Careful and detailed examination.
Examples:
Additional scrutiny. Public scrutiny. All products produced by our factory undergo rigorous scrutiny.
Sociologist.
A person who studies the institutions and development of human society.
Examples:
Religious sociologist. French sociologist. Sociologist studies the changes in family structure due to modernization.
Scrutinize.
To examine carefully and critically, to inspect closely.
Examples:
Scrutinize her belongings. Scrutinize a suspect. The detective scrutinized the evidence for any clues.
Skepticism.
An attitude of doubting or questioning that claims or statements are true or valuable, or that something will happen, the disbelief in any claims of ultimate knowledge.
Examples:
Natural skepticism. Skepticism toward bureaucracy. This party expresses skepticism about the efficacy of the health insurance system.
Distrust.
A lack of trust or confidence in someone or something.
Examples:
Distrust in politics. Growing distrust. The employee's consistent tardiness and lack of accountability made her coworkers develop distrust in her abilities.
Burden.
A duty, responsibility, etc. that is oppressive or worrisome, a load, typically a heavy one that is difficult to carry.
Examples:
Carry a burden. Burden of disease. That car has a low environmental burden.
Novel.
An extended fictional work in prose, usually in the form of a story. Adjective, original and of a kind not seen before.
Examples:
Historical novel. Novel effect. The novel has largely gotten positive feedback.
Intrinsically.
From the inherent nature or quality of something or arising from within.
Examples:
Intrinsically motivated. Intrinsically valuable. The kindness of strangers is intrinsically rewarding, even when no reward is expected.
Conservative.
Holding traditional views and values and opposed to change or innovation.
Examples:
A conservative society. Conservative about production. He always makes a conservative estimation when predicting future sales.
Communal.
Belonging to or used by a group rather than individuals, for common use.
Examples:
Communal swimming pool. Communal combination of funds. Communal elections were held in several European countries.
Paradigm.
A standard or typical example of something, a pattern or model.
Examples:
Major paradigm shift. Cultural paradigm. He postulated a completely different paradigm to explain all these phenomena.
Shift.
A slight transition in position, direction, or trend.
Examples:
Doppler shift. Major paradigm shift. Could you help me shift some furniture?
Historic.
Famous or significant in history, or potentially so.
Examples:
Historic accomplishment. Achieve the historic feat. The Chinese people have accomplished several historic feats.
Consensus.
General agreement or accord in the judgment or opinion reached by a group as a whole.
Examples:
A public consensus. Consensus among scientists. The two parties have reached a consensus.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal. A systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective. A method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
Process improvement. Decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Conclude.
To come to an end or close, to reach a judgment or opinion by reasoning.
Examples:
Conclude a meeting. Conclude that he is healthy. We concluded a ceasefire.
Nay.
Not this merely, but also, not only so but, noun, a negative response or vote.
Examples:
Nay vote. Said nay. He claimed he could finish the project in a day, nay, in just a few hours.
Jury.
A group of people called upon to render a verdict or judgment in a legal trial. A group of people chosen for a special purpose or task.
Examples:
Jury verdict. Jury duty. The judge instructed the jury on the law and the evidence presented in the trial.
Peer.
A person who has the same age, status, or ability.
Examples:
Peer group. Peer review. Among young people, peer pressure can be pretty influential.
Geek.
A person who is highly interested and knowledgeable about a particular subject or field, often to the point of being obsessed.
Examples:
Airplane geek. Geek enthusiast. He was a computer geek and spent all his free time coding.
pH.
A measure of the acidity or alkalinity of a substance, on a scale of 0 to 14, with 7 being neutral, lower values indicating greater acidity, and higher values indicating greater alkalinity.
Examples:
pH value of 7. pH scale. The pH level of this soil is too acidic for these types of plants.
Conventional.
Based on or following traditional rules, standards, customs, etc.
Examples:
A conventional style. Get a conventional loan. She is very conventional in her thoughts.
Guilty.
Feeling responsible for or having done something wrong or criminal.
Examples:
Feel a bit guilty. Guilty verdict. After much contemplation, the suspect decided to plead guilty to the theft charge.
Intractable.
Difficult to manage or control, stubborn or obstinate.
Examples:
Intractable pain. Intractable situation. The intractable problem defied a solution.
Appeal.
A serious, earnest, or urgent request for money, information, or help, a quality that makes somebody or something attractive or interest.
Examples:
Draw out your appeal. An appeal for help. He needed to resolve the problem as soon as possible, so he made an appeal directly.
Paradox.
A statement, situation, or person that has two opposite facts or features and therefore seems impossible, is difficult to understand, or is strange.
Examples:
French paradox. The paradox of the heap. There are many theories to explain this paradox.
Modern.
Of or belonging to the present time or recent times.
Examples:
Modern poetry. Pre-modern agricultural society. Their headquarters are in a modern skyscraper.
Individual.
A single person or thing, as distinct from a group.
Examples:
A private individual. Individual freedom. As an individual, he had the right to make his own decisions and live his life as he saw fit.
Platonic.
Of relationship or emotion, friendly or affectionate but not sexual.
Examples:
Platonic relationship. Platonic love. His relationship with her was completely platonic.
Wisdom.
The quality of being wise, or the ability to use your knowledge and experience to make sensible decisions.
Examples:
A fountain of wisdom. Wisdom literature. The community greatly respected and sought after the older adult's wisdom.
Colleague.
One of a group of a coworker, especially in a profession or a business.
Examples:
Collaborate with colleagues. Former colleague. I decided to seek counseling on the advice of my colleague.
Analogy.
A comparison between similar things that have similar aspects, often used to help explain a principle or concept.
Examples:
Draw analogy. Historical analogy. Some kinds of machine learning models show an analogy to how people learn.
Ignition.
The act of starting a fire, engine, or other device, the beginning or starting point of a process or event.
Examples:
Ignition system, ignition switch. My car's ignition wouldn't turn over, so I had to call a mechanic.
Incredibly.
In a way that is very difficult to believe, exceedingly, or extremely.
Examples:
Incredibly cheerful character. Get incredibly insecure. Several cities are experiencing incredibly high unemployment rates.
Automobile.
A road vehicle that has four wheels and is powered by an engine, used for transporting people or goods.
Examples:
Driverless automobile. Automobile insurance. The automobile industry is a major contributor to air pollution in cities.
Genius.
Someone who has exceptional intellectual ability and originality.
Examples:
A person of genius. A genius for music. Mozart was a musical genius.
Ford.
A shallow place in a river or stream where it is possible to walk or drive across.
Examples:
Ford a river. Across a ford. The river was too deep to cross, so we had to find a ford downstream where the water was shallower.
Musky.
Having a strong, earthy smell that is often reminiscent of musk or moss.
Examples:
Musky aroma. Musky perfume. The musky scent of the old book filled the air of the dusty library.
Reliability.
The quality of being able to be trusted or believed in doing what someone desires or requires.
Examples:
Improve reliability. Reliability test. The incident threw questions on her motivations and reliability.
Accumulate.
To collect or acquire a large number of things over a long period of time.
Examples:
Accumulate cash value. Accumulate evidence. He has accumulated his wealth through real estate investments.
Intelligence.
The ability to learn, comprehend, or make judgments or conclusions based on reasons.
Examples:
An intelligence test. Field of artificial intelligence. In terms of intelligence, he was head and shoulders above his classmates.
Basis.
The most important facts, ideas, or events from which something is developed, the way how things are organized or arranged.
Examples:
On an equal basis. Basis for calculation. This evidence will form the basis for our discussion.
Blind.
Unable to see, unable or unwilling to perceive or understand the true nature of something.
Examples:
Blind to the beauties. Blind spot. She was nearly blind due to severe diabetes.
Communicate.
To share or exchange information with others by speaking, writing, moving your body, or using other signals.
Examples:
Communicate his anxieties to the psychiatrist. Communicate well with my advisor. Dolphins use sound to communicate with each other.